Bike for solution.
All the way back to our junior year, me and Dustin were roommates, and Dustin kind of just threw it out there when he was like, when we graduate next year, we should just ride our bicycles home. And I said, yeah, I'm down. Just kind of was like, didn't really know if it was going to happen all the way up until like a couple months before. We didn't have any bikes. All four of us had no cycling experience. So that's why we had a lot of people doubting us and saying it really couldn't happen, because it didn't really make sense for what we were doing.
The only plan we had was I wanted to put speakers on my bike. So
yeah.
Music.
But like we didn't have money for.
The bike trip was already happening. We wanted to do it as just a fun little way to end our senior trip, but we thought it could be also a good way to raise awareness, because what we were doing was kind of, not normal for college students right after college. So we wanted to get them involved, and they helped us raise money for our funds with the bike trip, and we also helped them by raising a lot of awareness and also money for them for the safe homes in India.
God will meet you where you're at for ministry, and this bike trip was going to happen regardless. But we got to kind of turn it into a ministry and make it more than just us. So it turned into something, instead of just riding it for fun, that we partnered with churches along the way and got to speak at churches after the service about where our heart's at and why we're doing this.
When God really wants you to do something is when He really just puts it in your lap, and then you just kind of react with it. So that was kind of what happened. It literally was put in our lap with our football team, and then it worked out so well with the bike trip. It was just it had to be God, because there's no other way to explain. That's why we kind of got so pumped in it.
We could raise all the money in the world, but it's not going to go away until men step up. Because it's easy for me and for our team to say, well, yeah, we're not going to pay for sex, and that's where the majority are in that camp saying, I'm not going to pay for sex, that's so wrong. But it just comes down to small decisions that we just start justifying things, and that's really how it exploded to where it is today, as far as the sex trafficking industry making $99 billion a year. So that's one thing I'm learning moving forward, is for my own life and just kind of challenging men to step up with us. I really just challenge people not to be afraid to have that conversation, because this trip has been really easy to talk to people about sex trafficking, because people want to ask us about our trip when we did, but it's so hard just to bring up sex trafficking or talking about that, what's that look like, and it is kind of uncomfortable. So I would just challenge people just to take a step outside of our comfort zones and not be afraid to have that conversations with people within our church, in our neighborhood, at our work, because it's such a huge problem that's just under the radar that we can't be afraid to be talking about this and to bring awareness. And I think that's one vital way that these girls and these children are going to see change.